what's up? I'm gonna let Instagram do what it do. Start sending out notifications that I am going live today. Talk your barber shit, Garcia the barber. So sit back, enjoy another great segment with another special guest, the millionaire barber. All right, so let Instagram do what it do. Let me start waiting for people to log in. All right. I see you, millionaire the barber. So I'm letting Instagram do what it do. Start sending out notifications. Start letting people know that we will be going live and start talking our barber shit. I can't wait for this one. I'm looking forward to chopping it up with you, hearing your breakdown, hearing your story, and also teaching people. You know, it's not always about the barber shop. You can make a living and in business. Great mindset in the barbering industry as a school owner. So, you know, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to hearing all your information, how it got started for you, what made you jump in this field, and all the information that you're going to share. So let's let the Instagram algorithm do what it do, and I will be clicking my link to let you join in. All right, so I sent you the invite. So let's get it started. How you doing? How you doing?
Hey, what's going on?
Everything well? How's everything on your end?
Great.
All right. So first off, I want to say thank you for joining my panel. Um, I don't know if you got a chance to check out some of the videos and the interviews that I had before with some of my guests and how the concept of this podcast goes. Basically, sharing information within an industry, our beauty industry, hair industry, sharing information to those that maybe been in the industry for a while, want a new outlets to capitalize from behind the chair or within the chair. Students or new upcomers that are transitioning into our industry and want to know what are the best outcomes, what are the best outlets, how to structure themselves in more of a professional way to elaborate and grow in this industry. And so, that's what I bring to the table, just to hear the beginning structure and not always the limelight part of it. People that are joining in this industry want to maybe are going through struggles, maybe are going through certain things that, mentally, physically, just overall, and they don't know how to really structure through it. But hearing somebody's story, hearing somebody's journey gives them a better outcome and a better insight of how they can, develop and move through these struggles. So that's what my platform is about. So for you, coming on my platform, I'm really interested in hearing your journey and also, hearing the breakage of what it is to own a school, to capitalize on the school platform, because you always hear about just barbers being behind the chair, barbers being influencers, barbers capitalizing on products, but you never hear anybody saying that they want to own an actual school to help develop somebody. So to see your story, see your videos, and see in the area that you in, it's something that I'm really gonna enjoy today, and I know a lot of other people will. So I'm looking forward to it. So enough about that. I want to jump straight into you. I don't want to pronounce your name wrong, but can you pronounce your name for me?
Well, everybody just call me Chin.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
All right, Chin. So I'm gonna call you Chin. So Chin, let's start from the beginning. Like, what was it that got you in this industry in the first place before we start digging into the other part? Like, what enlightened you about this beauty industry to say, hey, I want to be a part of it?
Well, it was my best friend. My best friend's dad had some barbershops. And back in like 1988, we were in high school. Minimum wage was $3.35 an hour. So we was working a job, and after a week, our check was like $60 or $80.
Okay.
He was a year older than me, so he graduated in '88. He went to barber school, started working in his dad's barbershop, and he's telling me, man, I'm making $100 a day. And I didn't believe him. I said, so Saturday I'm gonna come up there because during the week I had to go to school.
Yeah.
So I went up there and sat beside him that whole Saturday. He made over $100 something. I couldn't believe it because we was making like 60, 80 the year before. So I'm a senior in high school.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't even thinking about barbering or whatever. And I told my mom, well, I want to go to barber school because in our house you got to go to college.
Yeah.
My mom was an educator. She's old school. So if you didn't go to college, you got put out the house. So I didn't want to get put out. So I said, okay, well, I'll go to college the next year. After that, she said, well, I'm not going to pay for it. So my granddaddy paid for it. And I went to barber school just so I could work in his dad's barbershop while I went through college. So I wouldn't have to have a job, making $3.35 an hour.
Yeah.
So that's why I went to barber school back in 1989.
Okay. Okay, that's dope. So I like the introduction to that. So what location was this? Like, are you still in that same location, or have you bounced around from different areas to, uphold more information within this industry and maybe a better environment for you and your family where you at now to capitalize on the things that you're doing now? Like, are you still in that same location, or are you somewhere else now?
No, I worked at that barbershop for about a year or whatever. Then I enrolled in college, and then I worked at another shop. But I all through college I cut hair and sold cocaine. I mean, I became the biggest cocaine dealer in Nashville from the early '90s. I met a kingpin, Carlos Francisco Mendita. So I was moving kilos of cocaine, going to college, taking 18 hours a semester on the dean's list, plus cutting a little hair on the side. So that's how my college life was until my senior year in college. The biggest cocaine bust in Nashville at that particular time.
Okay.
My guys got busted and went to federal prison.
Okay. So during this big transition in your life, how did that work out for you? Once you got into, the whole prison concept of it, and like, how did you still do barbering while you was in there? Like, what structured everything for you within there, being, confined in that type of new lifestyle, and say, okay, once I get out of this is what I want to do once I get back into the reality in the real world. Like, what transitioned all that for you?
Yes, I was cutting hair for 3 cents an hour. So
Okay.
I was probably the brokest barber in the world at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And but I was thinking, what am I going to do when I get out? Because my sister went to prison too. She didn't do anything. She was going to be a nurse. And so I messed her life up. My mom had a nervous breakdown. My stepdad had a stroke. So I messed the entire family up. So I knew that I was going to have to get out and make some money to be able to take care of my mom, be able to take care of my sister, who went to prison, because now she can't be a nurse because she's a convicted cocaine dealer that never sold cocaine. So I'm thinking, what person in the beauty industry, because what am I going to do? I'm conspiracy to distribute cocaine, traffic cocaine, aiding, abetting, gun charges. Who's going to hire me? If they do, I'm not going to get a good job. So I'm thinking, well, I can cut hair, but I don't want to do that because that's not going to be enough for me to provide for my family, take care of my sister, who I'm responsible for now, take care of my mom. Cutting hair behind a chair owning a shop is not going to generate enough income to take care of them the way I want to, nor is it going to give me the lifestyle that I want. Because once you get a taste of steak or air conditioning or whatever it is, you always have a taste for that. So I was used to large sums of money. So I'm thinking, what's going to give me kilo money, chicken money, bird money again in the beauty industry?
Mm-hmm.
The only thing was owning the school or having the product line, because Madam C.J. Walker, she proved that. She had two things. First, Black Millionaire, what does she have? A school
Mm-hmm.
and a product. So
Right.
all of these people in these other ethnic groups or whatever that have schools and product lines, they got that from Madam C.J. Walker. Success leaves clues. But
Mm-hmm.
a lot of us, brown people, didn't pick that up as a clue.
Mm. I love that. It's funny when I got into barbering and I saw that name at first and I was reading about it. I really didn't know the whole layout of the woman that we just spoke about, CJ Walker. But when I got a chance to watch the Netflix version of it, you know, it gave me a whole different outlook and it gave me the more of a better identity of who she was. And I'm glad that you brought that up within your segment of explaining your story. Um, for someone that went through all the trials and tribulations, but came out still strong ambition and wanted to structure another layer that wouldn't bring you back into that type of realm of lifestyle that you was in before, and knowing that you got to take care of your household and your family all over again, but you wanted to do it the right way. What sparked the school concept of it? You know, when we go to school sometimes, it doesn't give you the shiny light of like, oh, like going to school. Depending, I don't know, depending on, you know, when you went to school, maybe it sparked something for you and you was like, okay, I like this. I like that I could develop something. But some kids, like, they just want to go to school and get out, get into the barbershop, work behind the chair. And then after that, they want to say, okay, now I want to be an owner. I want to own a shop. What made you create this platform and speak about this, saying that, you know, it's good to have a barbershop. It's cool to be working behind the chair. It's cool to have ownership in the shop, but longevity and latitude, I think you should go into the realm of ownership of a school. What sparked that for you, and why do you speak so highly on that?
Well, what sparked it was back in 1989 when I went to barber school. I was 17 years old. The day before Easter, I cut over 30 heads and I made $8 in tips. And it was probably 30 or 40 other barber students in there that did 10 to 30 heads that day. Every beauty professional knows when they go to beauty school, barber, Cosmo, aesthetics, you don't get paid. The school owner gets paid. We're doing all of this work like a slave, pretty much,
Yeah.
and the school owner gets all the money. Now, the thing about it, we even got to pay the school owner. In slave days, we worked in the cotton field, we didn't pay the slave master. But now we got to pay them and work for free. Plus, I noticed that there were vending machines. We had to buy kits. So this black man walked around with all his money in his pocket, and we all mad because we got to do hair services. Every beauty professional goes through that.
Yeah.
So it don't ring a bell in everybody's head. Well, dang, maybe I need to get me a school on that. And if it's government funded, vocational rehabilitation, the VA, the GI Bill, or the Pell Grants, they giving him money for that too. So why does it not ring a bell? People say, well, I want to get me a shop. Well, with a shop, you only going to get commission, 50-50, 60-40, 70-30, or booth rental. With a school, you're going to get commission. 100% the school owner, 0% the student. So the school was like a big old shop where you got free labor. So that should ring a bell in everybody. I peeped that out when I was 17, just sitting there saying, I'm going to get me a school one day. I didn't know when I was going to get it, but I knew one day I'm going to get a school because this is a good business model where they don't get paid. It's against the law to pay them. So I'd already thought about that back then, you know, that I was going to do that. And when I came up, it was Andy Griffith, Floyd the Barber.
Yeah.
And in my city, these old barbers were always working in the shop. I didn't want to be that old man. You know,
Yeah.
I always looked at it, ain't no retirement plan for the dope man, but I was looking at it, ain't no retirement plan for the barber man, because in my city, I'm just speaking from my paradigm, my perspective, these old men were broke down. And the hairstylists in my church where I went, they were old and broke down. All of them were like they played in an NFL. They had a rotator cuff change, hip replacement, knee replacement, gout, bad back, bad knees, carpal tunnel. So I didn't want to be that person. And I knew that this shop was probably going to do that to me.
You know what I love the most about your page? Just the comedy humor that you deliver, but you also delivering a message at the same time. Within the message that I am viewing and what I'm taking in is that um, like you just said, longevity without feeling like you don't see an end road. With the inroad, I feel like you're sharing and what you're expressing is that with the barber school, you have these outlets, like you said, where it's coming in with the financial aid, financial backing to help you keep moving forward with this program that can help students get their paper, get their knowledge, and work in the field. But at the other hand, I want to know: are you teaching them, or I don't know if you're teaching per se, as far as because you might not be in a school setting. You're how many schools are you fully like 100% in and like showing up to and expressing this knowledge? Are you just now in the teacher form and saying like, okay, I have. Are you still having schools? Do you still have your schools in certain locations, or now are you just preaching that yeah, I have schools, but this is what the information I gathered from the schools that I could share with you. Those to be in this genre of ownership and want to have a school. This is the better way instead of maybe having a barbershop. Do you still continue to have schools preaching the same concept, or the school thing is not as, I wouldn't say not as important to you as it was before, but are you still in that same that realm, if you understand
Yeah.
what I'm trying to do?
Okay, so I'm still in the same industry. I opened a school when I was 26.
Okay.
I had students for 20 years. The government gave me over 20 mil. Okay, I started building houses, all that. Retired, sold the schools. The goal was to retire at 40. I didn't retire. I was like 45, 46, and my mentor started this program. Older white lady. She was making probably over $1 million a month. This is back in the 90s. So when she was shutting the program down, I asked if I could partner with her. She said,
Okay.
why? She said, I said, I want to help 1,000 people that look like me open schools. She
Mhm.
said, what? She said, well, go for it. We can partner. You can hire my team and hire your staff. So it's been my mission to create more millionaire beauty professionals. And when I say millionaire, I'm not talking in terms of money. I'm talking in terms of creating just a generational wealth for your family,
Mhm.
having time freedom, because a beauty professional does not have time freedom. You
Mhm.
know, time
Mhm.
is more valuable than money. You can't get that time back, but you can get money back. So now we have over 2,000 school owners in the United States. See,
Okay.
before our platform, nobody could open up a school really because they had in their brain it costs too much money, or they can't do it, or they
Mhm.
didn't see people that look like us have
Correct.
schools. So my mission was to just create more school owners, and that's what we've done.
Okay. 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 I'm glad that you shared that because that's where I was going with it. Like, I want to know, far as like what you're teaching and what you're sharing is like with your platform and your education. Are you showing them detail like what it takes to get in these doors, to talk to these bankers, to get land? Because that's the most important thing. You got to find the right land for you to operate your system, your schooling, and stuff like that. So is that what your, as far as within your industry, that's what the information you're giving them, as far as like the teaching? Um,
I'm teaching them,
yeah.
yeah, everything from A to Z. And
Okay.
when I say everything from A to Z, step by step, everything from A to Z.
Okay.
I had a dude that had a cell phone, a legal cell phone in prison that joined my program. He got out within 6 months. He had his school open. He's still open to this day.
Okay. And then as far as the school, what I was getting at earlier, maybe I worded it a little differently. But as far as the teaching, because teaching nowadays, you just and everything is kind of changing, and I wanted to talk to you about that as well. So as far as like the environment of the students and being in these classrooms and being in these institutes of these schools, are you also sharing this information as well, and not just open up the Milady book and learn how sanitation, and are you teaching them the economic part about it? Like, hey, yeah, you can be a barber. Yeah, you can work behind a chair and you can do all this. But at the end of the day, once you get your paperwork and you work at a shop, what is your next move? What is your next ambition? Are you telling them like, hey, yeah, you're going to own a shop, but it's more lucrative to own a school?
Yeah, so when I had my schools, they learned about real estate, being a contractor, credit. They learned everything. And I had people from the outside, like yourself, experts, that would come in. I had preachers, doctors, lawyers, all real estate people that would come in and teach them, because I didn't look at them as a barber, stylist, nail tech, esthetician. I looked at them as a businessman or a businesswoman. So my students was graduating back in '99, opening up shops. They thought I was a cult or was brainwashing them, because that was unheard of back then for somebody to leave school and go open up their shop. No, they were doing business plans. We was reading Think and Grow Rich, Rich Dad Poor Dad in 2000, all those type of personal development. They weren't just getting a beauty thing. No, it was personal development.
I like that. I like that a lot, because that's a lot of stuff that I feel like we miss, especially in high school, and then especially when you're going back into the working world, the working system. You know, they don't teach you how to really capitalize on economically of what, you know, how you can really sustain and not for you to you say, okay, within my school and within my formula, this is what I'm giving to you. I'm not just giving you a piece of paper to say, hey, you're a barber now, but I'm giving you education, information to help you see that you can do so much more in this industry, not just be a barber behind a chair and cut hair all day. Um, for what's going on, and I don't know if this thing, can I apologize on one part. I didn't even ask you what location you are in right now.
I'm in Nashville.
Lasville. Oh, okay. So
Nashville, Tennessee.
in California, a lot of the system as far as teaching methods have changed. So far as like the hours of being in school, they shifted, they cut it.
2000.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The educational part is a little bit different now. You don't do the state board practical no more. You just do the written. I know just recently, I think I seen an article about Georgia where like some of this, the like cuts, sports cuts, what's the other one? The you know the popular the hair salons that you know do the like the commission based. Now they're allowing you know people that just want to come in the industry without even going to school or and having being certified that you can just come in and just start working like that. What is your thoughts on them kind of like trying to shift the industry a little bit more to be more lucrative for maybe not for us anymore, but for them where they can still capitalize and force a lot of people to jump into this industry to make it oversaturated without really learning the basis of how to, you know, make this more of a lucrative business, like almost like, you know, when trade was where you can learn how to work on cars or you can learn plumbing and, you know, hair industry and all that stuff like that. Those are lucrative industry before it be starting to come like too watered down or they try to eliminate it. How you feel about the system of education and what you're teaching? Do you feel like with everything that's changing and shifting that they're trying to push the narrative of education out the window and would this make it a little bit harder for people to open up schools with the changes that they're trying to do?
Well, I mean, it's easier to open up a school now
Okay.
than ever because of the technology and the information that's out there. Um, I mean, the world is always going to change. There's always going to be disruption. We
Mm-hmm.
had the Sony Walkman radio. Then we had the iPod or whatever. We had the VHS tape. Then we had the CD-ROM. Now we
Mm-hmm.
got the digital. So when disruption happens, we had the horse and the carriage.
Yeah.
Disruption happened with the car. Okay, you fixing horseshoes and the carriage wheel or whatever. Now disruption comes, the automobile. So what do? You learn how to work on automobiles. You
Mm-hmm.
learn how to do automobile tires. So when disruption comes, if we don't adapt to that, we will be left behind. So no matter what happens in life, you have to adapt.
Correct. Um, what is it that you, far as like your way of like introducing or not introducing because it been around, but just your formula of how you're using um, the internet to capitalize on sharing a lot more educational process of like, okay, yeah, it's good to be a barber. It's good to be a hairstylist. It's good to be an esthetician. It's all this stuff that you want to do in the industry. It's good to be able to work behind that chair or sit in that chair and deliver your experience of what you learn. How has the social media helped you as far as pushing your content and your information out? Like, hey, yeah, you can do all this within the industry, but these are more of the key factors that I feel like would be more lucrative and help you to establish a more sustainable living in our area. How has the social media world helped you?
Well, the social media world has helped me because it allowed me to get it out there more.
Okay.
When we were only able to communicate through mail. There was no YouTube, there was no Instagram, there was no Facebook, none of that stuff. TikTok. When I started, doing this, I had to go to Bonner Brothers shows. The Proud Lady, we had to have a booth for a class. So I've been doing this for 26 years, a school thing. I've been a licensed barber for 34 years. So with social media, it's allowed me to reach more people, and it's allowed people to see other people that they can believe that they can do it. That's why they see a lot of people that look like us open schools, because we have in our brain, we've been brainwashed, or something happened in our past, or something somebody told us that we feel like we can't do this or we can't do that or whatever. So now when we see more people on the internet opening up a school, oh, well, that's a scam. Well, let me reach out to them. We can reach out through social media. We can Google, do they really have a school? Oh, well, let me watch this YouTube thing. Let me watch Darcy's show for about an hour. Is that dude really lying or whatever? No. So social media has allowed us to reach more people, and it's a tool that you can utilize and leverage. I've never seen anything like that. To allow barbers, beauty professionals. I've never seen so many millionaires in my life in this beauty space because of social media. And not just with a school. Back in the day, yeah, you had to have a school or some type of product if you were going to hit 7 figures or whatever. You couldn't do it behind the chair, but social media has been great as long as you know how to work it and leverage it correctly.
Yeah. I like that you spoke on some of the shows that we have in our industry, the seminars, the sit down conversations, the platform where a lot of barbers that are big influencers can set up a lot of these shows and have people come on stage and cut hair and win prizes and all these things like that. Would you like to see something more in this area or what you're in that will capitalize more on ownership, like building more schools within art, like you said, as far as people that look like us, that more people, you can see more people like yourself on these panels and talking about things like that. Have you been a part of anything like that? Because I don't know if any. I don't heard any.
No, they really probably don't have a lot of panels like that, because most people, I wouldn't say think small or whatever, but the average person, their dream is to go to school, get a big clientele, get a shop, and that's it.
Correct.
You don't hear people talking about, hey, I'm going to get a school, I'm going to change my community, I'm going to get accredited. Instead of me getting $100 a client or $50 a client, now I'm getting $20,000 a client, and the government is going to give me that $20,000. So a lot of people, their mindset, is not there, or they don't believe that they can do it, or they think it costs too much. They don't realize they can open up a school for the same amount. They can open up a shop. They can go pay first and last month's rent, get their chair, small classroom or whatever. It's a little bit more paperwork, but look at the outcome. If you and I you open up a school today, I open up a shop. We both have a 2,000 square foot building or whatever. Okay, you got a school, you got students cutting hair. I got a shop, right? I'm getting commission. Okay, now you bring all your clients, because you're a former barber, whatever, you still doing them, charging them for a price. Students paying out of pocket, whatever they can. Some of them not paying nothing. But you target single parent moms, high school kids, college kids, the elderly, special needs, people on a budget. Now your school is making money because you servicing and you're the only one getting paid, correct? Okay, I'm 2 or 3 years go by, now you're accredited. The government is paying you 20 to 25,000 students. You got the GI Bill, people that's been in the military, voc rehab, people that's got a mental, physical health or dependency problem. So now you got 50 students, 50 clients at 20,000. That's $1 million. We're not even talking about you cutting hair anymore or product sales that you get 100%. What am I doing? I got a shop, don't I?
Correct.
I'm still working behind the chair. I'm still babysitting these barbers.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm still fighting with them, getting commission or blueprint laid or whatever. Now, 5 years go by. You have made millions of dollars. What am I doing? 10 years, 20 years, 30 years go by. What am I doing? What are you doing?
Correct.
You see the difference?
Yeah,
now,
I hear what you say.
And just say, I can outcut you. I can run circles around you because, truth be told, I can't cut straight hair. I can't use the razor. I don't even know how to cut hair that good. So it's not even based on your skill set or knowledge or expertise either. Y'all never seen me cut hair. Never. Y'all ain't never seen me cut hair. And I'm not ashamed to tell y'all, because barbering was not my passion, none of that stuff.
Yeah. No, I'm glad that you shared that, because you say you coming from more of a business development era than just, looking at it just as someone that wants to just work in the barbershop and cut hair all day, or someone that transitioned from being a barber to being a barber owner, but still at the same day still got to work at the shop majority of the time. Still, like you said, got to babysit to make sure that whoever he has working in the shop is bringing in the money to keep the barbershop sustainable, to keep it moving, and to keep how many years of ownership. When what is the good outcome, and sometimes maybe the negative outcome of being someone that owns a school?
Well, the good is you get to break the generational curse of poverty if you come from a background like me. The good is you get to retire your mama 20-something years ago, buy her a mansion. The good is you feel like you're 20 years old when you're 53 years old. Nothing hurts on you. Your health is your greatest wealth. The good is you get to go to your kids' games on the weekend, and you get to travel and not think about, darn, I got to get back to the shop and make this money or whatever. So you get to spend this quality time that you can't get back. You get to impact your community. You immediately get influence. A barber has influence, but when you become a school owner, your influence skyrockets. I mean, it goes through the roof. So the respect level goes up. That's the good. Yeah, you get accredited, you'll get rich, make a lot of money, but you get to help a lot of people and all that too. You get to do a lot of free services and everything. The bad, where you're dealing with a lot of attitudes, you're going to babysit regardless. You're either going to babysit at a school and you're accredited getting $20,000 per baby, or you're going to babysit at the shop these people and probably not get nothing hardly. So you're going to babysit, and with a school, you have more control. You have 100% control. You can just put people out or whatever. With a shop, you don't have a lot of control. It's like, and I'm talking from my experience, it's like always pulling teeth. Dealing with these men and a barber is typically not a college graduate. He's typically not somebody that was raised in probably a two-parent home with everything or whatever. A barber, typically, the average barber is probably somebody like myself, been through some challenges in life. So dealing with them, they already got issues on different levels. So it's kind of a challenge running that shop. But with that school, when you get accredited, and you can accomplish more with that school in a couple of years, a barber can work 30 or 40 years. He still won't make the money that you've made in 4 or 5 years. And Alonzo Herndon. See, I read his book when I got out of prison. He was in Think and Grow Rich, a Black Choice. That's the book about these black people that all suffer failure, suffer setback, but they all got rich. This man opened up a 24-chair barbershop in 1903 in Atlanta on Peachtree with gold and crystal chandeliers and marble floors. He was born a slave and he used to cut hair. What did he do? He took that money and he invested it in Atlanta life insurance that company. So with a school, you can get these big chunks of money, and what you're gonna do, you can invest it in real estate and build houses and do all that. So it just gives you a better opportunity and more leverage, and it's less competition. There's a shop on every corner,
Yeah.
but not a school.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true. I know when I was out here in California looking for a school to go to at that particular time, like it was like spread like a wide range all over the place, but um, different curriculum as far as like how to, get into the school, depending on like if you wanted to do financial aid, if you was able to get financial aid. Some were more independent, where you can do like payments, where you didn't have to pay the whole lump sum right up front and stuff like that. So one of my next questions were like, say for example, myself, I wanted to open up a location out here in Los Angeles, Inglewood. Um, what would be the curriculum to go by doing that? What will be like the stages for me to like qualify to even try to open up a school? And that's what you teach, right? How to go through certain um, procedures or process to help you get to a point where you can open up your school. Like, what will be the steps that you would tell me to, if I was like, I can't be like, hey, I'm thinking about, I'm a barber, I've been in the industry for a while, but I think I want to, open up a school. What would we be maybe the key pointers you would tell me to do by doing that?
First thing I'm gonna tell you to do is go to the YouTube page, Me and That Barber. Why am I gonna tell you that? Because so you can see people that look like you, that
Okay.
have been there, done that, got the t-shirt, and you can see people that's dumber than you, less educated, suffered more setbacks and all of that, that has done it. Because a lot of times we don't believe that we can do it.
Yeah.
So that will be the first thing to break the unbelief and the scariness, the afraidness, the doubt, and all that. Because the minute you tell somebody you're gonna do something big, the ninjas, your family members and friends, they're always gonna say, "Oh man, I wouldn't do that. I don't know if you can do that with so and so." So now the dream killer's gonna come in.
Mm.
So that's why I would tell you to do that first. Then the business plan. Ms. Velma already paid 2 attorneys several $1,000s to do a school business plan. You don't have to Google or try to find some business plan out there. It's copy and paste, fill in the blank. It has a 100-point checklist. If you can read and copy and paste, everything is there. The curriculum, the enrollment agreement, the orientation forms, an example of a California application. We got school owners in every state, from Guam to Alaska, Hawaii, everywhere. So all we got to do is see a picture of the puzzle, and we can put the puzzle together. And if you got questions or problems, you just contact support, the ladies. So you do the business plan. That's going to have everything laid out. Then you'll get your rules and regulations. Because if you look at your rules and regulations, you'll understand it doesn't take a lot. And we got to do it in California. His school is 1,000 to 1,200 square feet. It's not a lot to open a school. And that's going to let you know, well, dang, I don't have to have all this money to open a school. I can just go rent that storefront like a shop, pay first and last month's rent. So those are some of the things I would tell you. I tell you, hey, we got a free community. Well, I put everything in the free community. If they want to learn to do it, it's free. Here, go look. Now, if you want the documents and other things and help, then we got other stuff for that. But as far as free, I'm telling you and showing you everything.
Okay. Yeah, because the reason I asked that, and that's what I wanted you to do. I mean, you did it perfectly, where you stated, "Hey, this is where you go. This is how you find more information." Um, for someone, like I said, in different areas, because I know you say you've been helping people like pretty much all over the world to open up a school. So, what areas have you came across of people that have been trying to open up the school that they've been having issues with certain locations? Or is every location pretty much all the same once you do your research, that you shouldn't have any, up and downs? Like once you fill out the paperwork, like you said, if you can read, copy and paste, it should be, the first step to moving you forward. But what were some of the issues that some people came across that you felt like you had to dig a little bit deeper, or give them more of a better foundation to help them push forward?
Well, Even with finding location, I tell everybody the same thing Miss Bevan told me: get in your car and drive around. The minute they see this planet, you're going to start noticing stuff. It's almost like if you get a certain type of car, you notice everybody else has this car too. So there are some states where there's more paperwork, but that doesn't matter because we already have all the paperwork. There are some states where the application costs more money. California, New York, Maryland, yeah, they cost more money. California's application is $5,000. New York is $5,000, so is Maryland or whatever. It's more paperwork. Some state boards work slow. California State Board works slow. New York State Board works slow. Why? I don't know. Florida State Board, they work slow. But you can still get it done. And that's good because a lot of people, when there's an obstacle in front of them, they're not going to do it. It's the easiest thing to become is a beauty professional. But my mentor, she upset me one day. When I was graduating to school, I joined her program. I was 26 years old in 1998. I said, well, what if I fail? That lady, Caucasian lady, Miss Bevan, who was like my mama, told me, you're already a failure. I got mad. I said, what do you mean by that? She said, you went to prison. When you got out of prison, no one will hire you. You went everywhere looking for a job because you lived at the federal halfway house, so you had to get a job. I said, yes, ma'am. She said, where'd you get a job at? I got a job working in the shop. She mean to tell me you're a convicted cocaine dealer, trafficking, aiding, abetting, gun charge. You got a job in the shop, but nobody else hired. Yes, ma'am. She said, your friend. She said, you used to be a cocaine dealer. Your friend was a crackhead, right? I said, yes, ma'am. When he got out of rehab, he was a barber too. What did he do? I said, he went and worked at the shop. She said, if you lost everything in life right now, what would you do? I said, I go work in the shop. I can always make money in the shop. I go to the shop broke with no money and leave out with a pocket full of money. She said, that's your bottom. If you open this school and fail, you're going to go back to failure where you're at right now. You can't go no lower than that. Now, she said, am I saying being a beauty professional is a failure? She said, no. She said, but with your mindset that you have bigger dreams and goals, it is a failure to you. She said, your top is some people's bottom. She said, some people's top is your bottom. You know, people whose top and dream is to open the shop and work in the shop or do whatever, that's my bottom. Am I saying that's the bottom? Absolutely not. But with my mindset, the way I think, that is my bottom. Living where I used to live is my bottom. Where I grew up at. Where I live now, heck, it's somebody else's bottom. When I went to California, where you at, I got on a little bus where it take you through Beverly, California Hills. It was houses $50 million, $100 million. Yeah. Heck, if they came to my 10,000 square foot home where I live, I'm thinking, oh, I'm the only black on the street. They would think that's their bottom. So everybody has different bottoms, different levels. Yeah. But family, freedom, peace of mind, and good health, you can't beat that over anything. Yeah.
No, 100%. And I'm glad you broke that down and you went back and clarified what a bottom and what a top can be. So I'm glad because I didn't want nobody to look at this and be like,
yeah, because they get upset and all that. So I wanted to be very detailed. Yeah. Because I'm a barber to the day I die. Yeah. I got a college degree, 4-year college degree. That's in my mama's room. Yeah. But I keep my little barber license stuff in my wallet. I'm a barber to the day I die, baby.
Yeah. 100%. I love this conversation. I love the direction that it's going in. Because I for myself, I worked, I graduated college, graduated high school, worked in the corporate world for 11 years. I developed a brand, a clothing brand for a couple years. Was using that to hopefully lead into, just working for myself, the entrepreneur. COVID hit, changed a lot of stuff. Once COVID opened back up, I got into the hair industry. My wife, which was my lady, my girlfriend at the time, became my wife. She had friends that was in the industry as far as hairstyling, working on set and stuff like that. So that's my next maneuver to, jump from the barber shop concept, but do some stuff on set. But I also, for myself, in a way that I feel, as far as like sharing information, be it someone that likes to educate and stuff like that, I was also thinking and one day want to maneuver into this field as well to open up a school and, share information that I felt I didn't get when I was in school. I felt like it was a lot of fast pace. It wasn't a lot of information. It was just you going there, like you said, feeling like you in a daycare. People come in, you just cut their hair. A lot of people paying attention. Some people not paying attention. You read your book. Some people don't read their book. So it was just that type of environment. So it was just like if you had ambition and you was passionate enough and you just wanted to be there all day. Like I used to work graveyard shift. Sorry about that. I have a little I get the weather out here. So I went to school all day, did my graveyard shift. So I did everything a little bit faster so I can, get my paperwork and then I can graduate. But like I said, as far as the information and what I was gathering from the school, didn't really give me that. Like if I didn't open up my book and study all day, all night, even when I was working my graveyard shifts and going to school and trying to develop myself, I wouldn't look back at the school system as someone that didn't care too much for the system and say, I want to open up a school. So how do you change that mindset for someone that's looking at your platform now and going, oh, he's talking about school, but when I was in school, that wasn't what I was getting. So why would I want to be that person to open up a school? What is the knowledge? What is the information that you're sharing to say, hey, this is what you can do. This is what you can do as far as yourself. But this is all, like what you said, this is also what you can give to the community. How?
Well, it's kind of similar to what you said. A
Yeah.
lot of beauty professionals are frustrated about what happened to them at their school experience, and a lot of them are frustrated on what the schools are putting out when they come work in their shops.
Mhm.
So out of frustration, a lot of people open schools because they're tired of the way they were treated, and they're tired of these people graduating, and then they coming into your shop, and then you got to retrain them, and you're not getting paid. When the school owner got paid $15,000, $20,000, $25,000, but yet you retraining them. So we have a lot of people in the program that are opening up schools because of that reason, because they frustrated with. I'm already teaching them and retrain. Hell, I've been teaching them for 20 or 30 years or 10 years. Let me go ahead and just open the school. They already got a school.
Mhm.
It's just not, licensed or legit, really.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's honestly that's the I never like really paid attention to it like that until you explained it like that. But yeah, like you come out of school and then you go into a barbershop and you being retaught all over again. You because they don't teach you customer service. So the first thing that your owner or the owner of the shop or the person that you're working under, they said, hey, you need to develop your customer service. You need to talk more. You need to stop putting your head down. You need to speak to the people so you can, get people in your chair. Then, you don't really get the true fundamentals of cutting hair because all they're doing is telling you, person coming in, they getting their $5 or $10, however, how much they charge you for the cut. And they just throw somebody in your chair and you press pretty much just practicing on them and learning how to cut, or you watching a YouTube video that's in the classroom that's showing you how to cut hair while you cutting somebody hair. So the fundamentals is not there. So when you go to a barbershop and you've been there and you're trying to learn how to, take what you thought you was learning from school into an actual barbershop, and then the customers are getting upset because you're not fading their hair right. You're not taking the line out of their hair. You're not talking to them. You're not explaining to them, or if they give you detail of a cut that they want, you don't understand it because you wasn't taught that in school. So for you to say that this is my course, this is what I'm sharing to you as far as what the outcome can be if you open up a school. If you get into, yes, you can make lucrative money, you can make good money, yes, you can get all this financial backing to help you with your school, but at the end of the day, just for you to open up the school, what are you really doing as far as just putting money in your pocket to say I have a school? Are you really changing the outcome in the system that's being planted already, and are you changing that? So that's why I like to have this conversation with you. It's like, yeah, I could sit here and go, yeah, I can open up a school. Yeah, I can be that person that just throws a school in my area. But am I challenging myself to say, yes, once I open up the school, I want to make sure the people that coming out of the school is getting what they need.
Yeah. And when I had my schools, because I'm very competitive, I wanted my students to leave better than the barbers that's been out there 10, 20, 30 years. So it was very important. They had the best tools. The mindset was right. And they were already knowing and thinking, and a lot of them were better than them people out there, the other professionals or whatever. And they learned professionalism. They learned etiquette, how to dress. No, you're not going to be coming here smelling like you've been doing whatever. It's not that type of party. I would send them home for that. No, you have to have your pants pulled up. You got to have your belt on. No, you're a representative of my school. You're going to be a representative of his shop when you go there.
Yeah.
So there are certain things. So when my students, they always wanted my students. Man, you got any students? And another great thing, when you're a school owner, all of your best students, they're going to go work in your shop.
Mm-hmm.
So now you don't have a problem of trying to fill up chairs in your shop because you already got this system. Students graduating, boom, they're going in my shop. So I had all these shops too that stayed full.
What's I know when, like I said, when I was at that point when I was looking for a school, and I hope I'm saying this correctly, more of the okay, so like out here you have college, you know, you have the community colleges that teach you hair, the hair industry on there, but you still have to take the regular curriculum within that process. Like you just can't go there for school. You got to take the extra. Then you have facilities that just actually like the Barber Institute, institutional, where you go there, you study, but it's like almost like layers to it, like almost like going to a college platform concept. And those are the ones that I feel like they focus more on the financial aid process. Like they want you to see it. They want to make sure if you can come in and get the financial aid. And then you have like the more community ones that work with you. They give you a budget, but then they can tell you that you can pay like monthly. What for someone that doesn't know, what is the difference between these and what is the better one to go to?
Well, I mean, all right, so if you open up a school, the people that are in our program, their goal is to open a school, but their goal is to become accredited so they can get the grants, the free money, and all of that.
Okay.
Okay. Now, if it's a school that's not accredited, okay, tuition is going to be low. They may not have a lot of the resources or whatever. A lot of the corporate schools, they're accredited. Most corporate schools are numbers people because they're corporate. So they're all about numbers, just making the money or whatever. But somebody like yourself, you open up a school, you do payment plans. Once you get it accredited, that's the perfect model for you because now you're accredited. These students don't have to pay. You getting paid all this money. You care about the students. It's your passion. Now, not only do you have the resources, but you already got the mindset and the money. So that's just a perfect marriage there because they're going to get the best of everything. But starting off, you have to do what you have to do, you know, the first couple of years because you can't start your accreditation until you've been open a year, 12 months. It's going to take you another 12 to 18 months to get through the accreditation process. So that's why I tell everybody about 2 or 3 years. That's if they're doing what they're doing.
So is what you're explaining, because I might be hearing it on my end maybe a little incorrectly. So the ones that start off like that, they're like mom and pop. So maybe that's not the correct term, but
yeah, everybody does.
Okay, so those are the ones that work with you and say, okay, this is what you got to pay fully, but I'll work with you and you just pay me monthly.
Yes,
but they don't have any financial. They don't give financial background, or they don't have like okay.
Right.
And then the ones that do say, okay, for you to even come to this school is 20 to 30K, but then they want you to go get the financial aid.
Yeah, because one, the Pell Grant is free money that nobody has to pay back. That's just free money, no student loans or anything. So even Paul Mitchell, I can name drop, he opened in 2000. He didn't have financial aid. He still had to go through the process. Everybody has to go through that process. Well, people say, well, how am I going to last? How you last at your barbershop? You open up a small school. Keep your overhead low. And then once you get accredited, then expand. So, but it's not a long 2 or 3 years. That's not long. If a beauty professional doesn't do it, what are they gonna be 2 or 3 years from now? In the shop. 5 years, 10 years in a shop. I've been licensed 34 years. Time just, and all my friends that's in this space, they all have one thing in common. They all broke down. And I hate to say that. They done had a rotator cuff, a sciatic in the neck, trigger finger, copper. They're all broke down. They can't even get out there. And so with the school, yeah, I used to preach money because I was younger, you know, and kind of ignorant or whatever. But now that I'm older, I look at it as it's a way to create generational wealth, and it's also a way to preserve your health.
Now, I love that you two things that I really appreciate that you've been saying all through this conversation: generation wealth, giving back to the community, especially if it's someone that looks like us, to help develop and restructure what our community is. Show them how to establish good line of credit and build something. And then also, like you said, you know, like health, mental and health. You know, at the end of the day, we don't speak a lot about that, especially in our culture. We don't really talk about our mental things that we're going through, especially to another man or just in our family in general. We just keep all that inside. So, you know, after time and moment, you know, we honestly, like, we deteriorate ourselves and we breaking ourselves down. And then you, like you said, you know, being in the shop so long over years and years, you know, once you walk away from it, you want to walk away like, you know, you felt 20 years ago, like you still feeling young, you still feeling youthful. You don't feel like, you know, you gave all this time, all these years to your profession, and all it did was just break you down. So I'm glad that.
And they're not just broke down. My friends are not just broke down physically.
Yeah.
Just Darcy, they broke down mentally.
Yeah.
And I would talk to them and say, man, if you was in this shop all these years and everybody get in your chair dumping all their problems on you, because we're doctors, lawyers,
Right.
we psychiatrists. Yeah. And so I can imagine 20, 30 years, you go to work, you standing up, and then that mentally, I didn't even think about how, you know, they've been telling me they just mentally depleted.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. I want to go in so many directions with this, and I want to, you know, for like people that are going to look at this video, or maybe you know, people that are looking at it now, and like having their questions and their thoughts, and you know, like you said, I know you said it multiple times, and maybe some people are catching it and some people are not. But for you to say like, hey, it's cool to be a barber, it's cool to be a hairstylist, have your salon, have your you know, your barbershop, have all this set up. But at the end of the day, what I'm sharing and what I'm delivering is not saying I'm taking away from what you're doing and what, you know, you feel passionate about, but this area is very lucrative as well. And for you to be sharing this, how do you get any negative feedback on you know, people telling you like, yeah, you know, I think it's a whole lot of, you know, this. Yeah.
Of course you get negative feedback, because one, even with the name Millionaire Barber, I didn't name me that. They did that. It's hard for a beauty professional to even think or fathom that they can make $100, $200, $300,000 per month, and the government is wiring that to their bank account. That's kind of hard to believe or even think of. So that's one thing. And then somebody's out here telling you, even with some of the videos or whatever, how the little old lady or whatever. Well, those are 3 old ladies at my church. Every beauty professional that's busy has come home and laid down and felt the pain if they've been busy. So I do get a lot of, and then a lot of people think it's a scam, you know, because they haven't seen it or whatever. But then once they started looking, because if you Google how to open a school, a beauty school, I'm the only person in the universe that's popping up. Whether it's Google, YouTube, or whatever, the algorithm is going to work for the person that puts the content out. And I put out so much stuff to where I went to YouTube mastermind, the guy, I got one thing for that mastermind. He said, if you want to dominate this industry, this is what you need to do. Whatever industry you're in, act like somebody gave you 1 million cash to put out all the information. That's the mindset that I have on the videos and content that I give you all on YouTube. I give y'all everything. I don't leave no stone, no gatekeeping. Here's what it is.
For someone like I asked you earlier, for someone like myself, and I come into this part of my life, and I say, and I look at your video, or I come to your YouTube, your Google, and I'm Googling, and I'm like, yeah, I want to open up a school. What are the two major top priorities as far as like going into this realm? Should your financial credit be a certain point? Is that a big factor to make sure that you have a certain total score that is above 500, 600? Should you at least have maybe 5 to 15K in your account before you move forward? Like, what are some of the things that
there's
questions you come across that people might ask you that maybe that's similar to that?
Well, I tell them, don't do what I did, because I was crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm a strong believer in God. When I opened up my school, yeah, I was on federal parole. I just got out of prison 2 years before that. I opened a little raggedy school in the hood. The roof was leaking in everywhere because I got turned down about 40-something times by different places because my credit was bad, convicted felon, everything was against me. When I opened up the school, I ain't had no money in the bank. They say you need a 6-month day rainy day fund. I had a God day rainy day fund. So I don't operate in the physical. I operate in the spiritual. When I had 0 students, I'm praying every day, thanking God for the 100 students. Although I got 0 in the physical. Do I tell people to do what I did? Absolutely not. But God told me this. So it's different. When God gives you a vision, he don't give it to nobody else. So you can't expect them to be in alignment, whether it's your husband, wife, whoever, mama, whatever. But would I say you should have some money? Yeah, because you may not get no clients. You may not be willing to give out 1,000 free haircut cards like I did for people to come in, and then you call each one thanking them, and then they come back the next time and pay. So that everybody is different. You don't need a certain credit score. You don't have to have good credit to open a school, or good credit to get accredited and get the government money. You don't. Now you have to do financials going through your NACA's accreditation to have to pass this ratio or whatever, but that's later on down the road. But it doesn't take a lot to open a school. Everybody wants to put all these obstacles and stuff. Miss Velma laid everything out. I can't say it's my program or y'all join this program, whatever. No, this lady was doing over $1 million a month back in the 90s. I just happened to be her first Black student. And then she let me partner with her about 11 or 12 years ago. That's how I got. The only thing I did was when the technology came out, I put everything online, and I made it real simple for you all to copy and paste. And when y'all have problems, reach out. And for a man, for a barber to be able to open a school and get accredited, it has to be laid out. Because beauty professionals, primarily barbers, they're not techie people. We're artists. So it has to be boom, 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 boom. Kiss, keep it simple, stupid. And when people see the YouTube videos, they see people who are not, whose elevator ain't all the way at the top. Dang, how he get a school? How she get a school? Well, we got everything laid out, and we help. Because I'm passionate about this. I take this very serious, because I don't have to do this. This is my baby, my passion. To when I see people open schools get accredited, I get happy.
So, my next question is and still stay on the same realm. Like when I was, like I said, when I was going to school and I looked on the state board, as far as like what will be the great potential schools for me to look into that will be in my surrounding area. Is that something that you share within your course that, you know, once you open up a school, you want to be noticed that noticeable that your school is on the state board listing?
Well, they're gonna put it on the state board listing. Of course, you want to get your Google search and all that, but it's only 1,100 and something NACA's accredited schools in the whole United States. So there's no competition with the schools. And people always, another question they ask though, what's the best place for me to open a school? And I tell everybody what Miss Velma told me, because that's what I asked her back in 1998. She looked at me, Darcy, she said, Chin, the best place for you to open up a school is somewhere that you can afford and manage and last for about 3 years till you get accredited. So I had a raggedy building in the hood. My clients, I could pay all the bills with just my customers. Everything else was just gravy. Now, was it ragged and leaking out? Yes, it was. I had to let my pride go, you know. But guess what? 3 years later, when I got accredited in 2001, I was making about 60, 70,000 a year at that school. The year I got accredited, I made 600 and something thousand.
Okay. I also did a little bit of my research, and I saw you got some accolades for, you know, you being in this profession and sharing, you know, this great information for our barbering industry and beauty industry. Can you speak on like some of the awards that you have received and what it means to you to know that you are in this realm of where people are giving you acknowledgement for the things that you're doing, and you know what that means to you?
I mean, with the awards, I really don't care. My main thing was when I got out of prison, for my mama to live long enough to see me turn my life around and be able to take care of her. She's 80 years old now. I retired her 20 years ago. Bought her a 10,000 square foot home. For her to tell me, Chin, I have to pinch myself sometimes. If it wasn't for you, I'd be dead. And I said, why? She said, because I don't have to stress of paying bills and I don't have to work hard. So that's the greatest accolade I could ever have. We live together. I live with my mom. That's the greatest ever. I don't know how long she's going to be here. Give her flowers while she's here. Yeah, I won ClickFunnels Awards, you know, doing $1 million online and all that. But, okay, I retired, back in 20, I don't know, 2017 or whatever, and I had a lot of time on my hand. And I had a couple of dollars. So I was able to join private masterminds and spend 50,000 here or there to learn some stuff that other beauty professionals weren't privileged to have. It's like we go into a fight, but I done paid all this money and I learned about a machine gun. But everybody else don't know about a machine gun, so they're just training, lifting weights every day or whatever. So now we go into the fight. Who's gonna win the fight? I am, because I've leveraged this machine gun. So I learned how to leverage social media and automated systems and automated business systems. So I was able to implement that in the beauty space, because all of those guys, primarily Caucasian, no one was in the beauty space when I was in those private rooms. So I took what I learned, because it works for any space, and I implemented it in the beauty space. And yeah, I won them awards. The first beauty professional in the world to win it is only two beauty professionals won it, me and Atlanta hair doctor. And I trained her and mentored and coached her. So those are some awards. But now, you know, it's 4 levels to wealth. Muscle, you making money with your muscles, that's the lowest level. That means you're going to be broke and tired. And that could be in any field. Anytime you're exchanging time for money, making money with your hands, broke and tired. The next level, your managing, I mean. Now we're in the shop managing barbers or whoever. We're making a little bit more money, or we're managing McDonald's, different color suit, but we just make a little bit more money, but it's a lot more headache. Still, I'll say broke. Exchanging time for money. The third level is not to the third or fourth levels that we create time freedom, financial freedom, generational wealth. Now we're making money with our mouth, with our message. Every beauty professional, you can make more money with your mouth by teaching, creating an online system and selling it to the world or a specific group of people. and your imagination,
Mm-hmm.
your mind. You might can't do it. I work with people, they had imagination, they couldn't do it, but I knew how to build the system. How many hours in a day?
You asked me a question?
Yeah,
Oh, 24.
24 hours in a day. How many days in a year?
30, 36.
365. That's right. Now, so I got over 10 businesses. I'll just use Atlanta Hair Doctor because she got over 10 online businesses. 10 times 24 is 240, right? She works 240 hours a day. Her online automated business systems do. She's working 87,600 hours per year. 240 hours a day times 365 days. That's 87,600 hours a year. It would take the average person working 8 hours a day 44 years to clock 87,600 hours. She's doing it in a year, time collapsing. So with the online systems, since you want to talk about awards, I show people how to time collapse, how to take what's in their brain, create an online automated business system that works 24/7, 365 with minimum to low overhead. No rent, no light bill. It ain't nothing but an internet connection.
Yeah.
So now you can make money like that. A video go viral. She puts the fruit in the hair, the owl and oranges and all that stuff. Well, her video went viral years ago. I already had the system built. She made over $100,000 that day. She had an online thing. Video goes viral. It was boom, boom, boom. Digital program.
Right.
So she retired. Now, this was a woman sleeping on the floor with 2 kids, going through a bit of divorce. Then COVID hit.
Yeah.
She has a product line, all that. So these automated online systems and social media, but most beauty professionals, they don't know how to build them systems. Because I mean, it does take. It took me 3 to 4 years before it clicked in my brain. I had 2 computers side by side, and everything I learned, I do this, then do that. And one morning I woke up, and it clicked in my brain. So now everything, I can just build it in a day or whatever. But I don't work with people doing that anymore one-on-one. My baby is the school.
Man, I love everything about this platform that we discussing, because like I said, it brought a lot of open mindset to me as far as, like, what my next direction as far as this industry I would like to be. Is it for you? What is it that you feel is you feel like what was the best connection that you have built with this industry, within this industry, with the people that you have worked with, the information that you have gathered from people that are coming to you for your openness, your knowledge, and what is it that you feel like is still maybe missing, still with within this part of the industry, that you hoping that would click a little bit faster? I know you're seeing the movement, the stuff that you're doing, and you see people are starting to draw in. But what is it that you still feel like is not the turning point for a lot of people on this side just yet?
Okay. A lot of people don't know how to properly create content for social media and monetize it. Most people don't know how to do that. I wasn't an expert at that. I'm not an expert at that. Now, there was a barber that grew his social media from 0 to 1 million followers in 69 days. This barber is on his way to making millions of dollars. He makes a lot of money. He has like an ebook. He has a community now. And when I saw that, I joined this program. I've joined all these masterminds for this dude to do that with the content. Because we all want more customers, or we want to sell more of our product, want more people coming into a physical location, or sell more courses or whatever. If your social media content, if you learn how to do that properly, all of that can happen. Even with a school owner, you want more students. So if you get that right, and I believe in him so much, I even got his link on my page because I believe in it, because I don't have to make the money. I've already made my money. You know, I had the schools. That's no secret. I built houses, real estate. So I'm not in it for that. So I got his page, his link in my bio where they can join his community to learn this social media. Because if you get a school or you get a product line or a shop or whatever, if you don't do your social media right, guess what? You ain't gonna make no money. You're not gonna get no customers. You ain't gonna get no students. You're not gonna sell no products. That has to be right.
Correct.
So that's like, and that's his program. I mean, he got different levels or whatever, but he got a program that's $97 a month, $3.23 a day. Everybody on social media. And if y'all look at my social media, you see how it's gotten better. I ain't know how to do the voiceovers, add the music, the little pictures. I know none of that stuff. I'm 53, you know, but yeah, this dude was 25. And I saw that and reached out to him, got personal coaching and this and that. And I'm thinking, wow. And now I don't have a lot of followers. And that's something I want to share with y'all. You may not have a lot of followers, but if you got 1,000 raving fans, if you just got 1,000 customers, you could get rich. And a lot of people are not going to comment on your post. I got so many people in my DMs. It's crazy. And I have the automation, the manny chat, all that stuff set up. But his content, because of me in that program, knowing how to do it, because we on social media looking at people's stuff. How they do that? How they do that? And it's gatekeepers. They ain't telling you, showing you whatever. And when I reached out to him, got in this program, I'm thinking, wow, I'm telling everybody about this. Because if they content ain't right, because Atlanta Hair Doctor, her content off the chain. But she's made millions of dollars. She would go live. Every time she go live, she make $1,000 more.
True.
Every time. Sure. So would you ask me that question? They content. Dude is slide down honcho. If y'all don't know who it is, or if you go to my link, you can click that. I ain't even telling y'all to open a school or nothing. No, go get in his program, get your content right, because when your content get right, if you happen to open a school, you'll be like Cynthia, Stay Ready Nails Academy, and have a line wrapped around the building because of her social media. Ain't nobody listening to the radio or watching TV. It's this.
Man, I just want to say thank you for taking time out. You could have been anywhere anywhere in the world today, but you choose to be here, chopping it up with me, sharing your information, sharing your course, sharing your likeness, all the things that, you know, what I'm trying to give off in this industry, and what it is to, you know, be in this industry and capitalize and keep moving forward and, you know, just taking it to the next level. So I'm deeply grateful that, you know, you took time, reached out and said, hey, I want to come on there and I want to talk my shit. So do you feel it's anything that, you know, I didn't ask you that you know you want to capitalize on right now before we jump off?
I mean, get closer to the higher power, because I mean, this world and your family, you know, it's a lot of stress and problems and everything, no matter how much money you have or how less or whatever. So I'm a believer.
Yeah, 100%.
I better tap into him.
100%. Man, and then, you know, it's funny, I usually leave my guests with law of attraction, but you just summed it up right there. You know, the first thing to do is, you know, put your faith in the person up high. That's, you know, giving you the ability to get up every day, keep challenging yourself and keep growing. So I just want to say, Chin, you did your thing. I appreciate you. This is not a one-time thing. I will be reaching out, seeing if you want to come back on, chop it up some more. You know, I know a lot of people going to tune in and might ask me some questions. So, you know, I can tell them to either DM you, go to your page, or we can come back on. We can chop it up some more.
All right. I thank you for having me.
Thank you, man. Have a great day, man.
You too. Peace out.